All right, good morning, my friends and followers, the ones who watch me for oil, right? As a mechanic, you can only talk about in a day of what you've done or what you do. You're a doctor, you talk about doctoring, you're blah, blah, blah. So mechanics, and I'm a lifetime mechanic. I built my first motor when I was like 12 years old, you guys. Pulled it out of a snowmobile, put it on my toboggan, drug it across the yard, and built my own motor. And it was my thing. You're either born with it or you aren't. And the hot rods, the motors, all that it's in your soul, it's in your blood. So I guess where's my story going is I guess I kind of feel sorry for people that aren't mechanics. And I really always have. And I've gone out of my way to make sure that I help anybody that I can who needs help with their vehicle. But anyway, where this story's going is about how junky really is your car, you guys. Spending $61,000 on a car that's basically a piece of shit. I'm not kidding you, especially as a mechanic. And all these different oils and all this stuff you got to do. And, you can run your oil there's some of these things, you run it to 10,000 miles. No. Do not ever run your oil to 10,000 miles, guys. Even 7,500 is too far for me. We used to change our oil because oils have changed, but you changed your oil every 3,000 miles because it was dirty. Like here's an oil I just took out of a car yesterday, right? And this had about 4,000 to 5,000 miles out. Look at it, right? The thing is that you don't look at those oil change intervals. This is a scam and a lie by all of the manufacturers of these motors to keep you coming back. I'm not kidding you guys. The way to got a little wind blowing. That north wind. Got that north wind. Sorry about that. So the fact is that you pull out your dipstick, and if it's black, that oil's done. I don't care if you send it into to black, what's their name, and have it analyze. Oh, it still had the viscosity. You know what that is in there? That is everything from carbon to there's dirt came through. That's what's in there, you guys. And that's eating away at those soft bearings, crank bearings, rod bearings, everything else. So yeah, and how often should you check your oil? Well, I'll tell you, on these new motors, you'll pull it out. If it's clean, it's good to go, right? But some of these new motors, especially GM, all of them down the line, just junk. If you watch my videos, you guys, I'm not kidding you. And it's all by design to make money, right? So they tell you these oil changes. Then they ended up, as a mechanic, I'm going to tell you straight, they ended up putting plastic covers on the bottom of your car, right? You really need a professional mechanic, not a Jiffy Lube, not a, many of those, they have to take off all these covers and everything just to find the oil plug. Oh yeah. And then you go to take off the oil filter. And in the old days, you had a nice metal filter, and now they have this plastic cap, right? And if you're not a professional and you start wanking on that cap, you're gonna crack it. And a dealer will charge you up to $800 to fix that. This is the biggest scam under the sun. The plastic covers, everything. Let's walk around and look at some of this junk, right? And I'm not going to get too long-winded but yeah, no, it bugs me. Let's go over here to Ford. Okay? Check this out. Plastic manifold. Plastic everything. Everything is plastic. For that kind of money, you guys, are you kidding me? And it's junk. And you want to make sure that you check that oil, and you check your oil every 1,000 miles. I don't care if it's a new car, because they're a piece of shit. Did I say that? Yeah. How about the Volkswagen over here? Plastic everything. Look at the bumpers. When I wrote my song, Plastic People in Plastic Cars, and their plastic houses and their plastic credit cards. I'm not kidding you guys. Here's the original plastic card, but it was actually fiberglass. It's your Corvette. Pretty durable. Front bumpers all broke off of those too. Snapped right off. So anyway, I talked long enough, but yeah, drive me out here working on stuff again, and I just thought I'd give you a heads up, and it's all by design, you guys, to make money. And you know, as professional mechanics, and like those clips, you have to take the covers off the bottom of these motors. They're good for 3 times, guys, and then the clips will snap. And try to take one of those off at 20 below zero. Don't ever try to take off a plastic clip below 40 degrees. I'm not kidding you. And try to get the cover down. And you see like these Jiffy Lubes, and they'll come out or whatever, and the covers will be dragging because they're not professional mechanics. They're a guy they hired to change oil. Doesn't know what kind of oil to use. Doesn't have any clue about how to, you know, you go and put that plastic cap on your oil filter, and if you, what you do is you tighten it and you watch that O-ring, and when it stops, you stop. They'll like crank it, crack. And there was major lawsuits on a lot of these, even dealerships, and that cracked these covers alone, and they wouldn't cover it. Then they scam you for the oil. Oh, if you didn't use this oil, and we're gonna void your warranty. Well, their oil didn't work out for them either, you guys. It's all a scam. It drives me insane as a mechanic. You know, that's why I drive a 97, and I'll drive anything older, because it still had a little quality by 97, but by 2000, this all changed and it all went down the crapper. So anyway, that's what I'm sitting out here talking, you know, thinking about today, because I'm working on this junk again today, and the plastics, man, absolutely horrible. And so, yeah, that's my story. Check your oil every 1,000 miles. Use the correct oil, top line filters, and never run that oil, final word, over 5,000 miles. You pull out the dipstick and it's dirty, it's ready to change. It's the way it is. Don't listen to the dealer. He wants you to run that thing 7,500, 10,000 miles. Big bucks. Give you a new motor, sell you a new motor for about $6,000. Yeah, or give you one for free, because it probably won't even be off warranty. They're so crappy. Anyway, have a good day, you guys. Happy trails.